So we're going to have to pass these. We only have two. Okay, so we're going to end up going down and coming back. Excuse me, everybody. I hope that you have a desire to learn about going wide with your business. My name is Michael Anderle, if you didn't know that. And I will be able to be the MC of this wonderful event. And if you're aware, LMBPN has recently pushed the wide button on a major release, and we'll be doing it for the next 18 months of releases and 21 months minimum that we are going to invest in figuring out what's going on, and then we're going to bring it back to you. We have a white paper already that we're doing with a lot of our partners, and we're excited to find out how to, well, I could do it in a nice way, but capture the whole world. We have very small inspirational efforts. So related to wide, I understand that there are normally two different reasons to do this. One is philosophical, and it's very much sometimes expressed as, I sleep better at night, knowing that not all of my eggs are in one basket. How many people might attribute themselves to this? So I see, there we go. All right, everyone here, notice that point? That's probably a great marketing explanation. But there are other reasons to do it as well. One of the reasons we did it is we saturated our market. Wasn't something we expected to do, but we certainly did. Another reason is because sometimes no matter what you do, your series will not take off in Kindle Unlimited. It just doesn't. What are you going to do then? Well, wide is an answer. And so there are multiple business reasons to accomplish this, and I really want to thank everybody here up the panel for what's about to happen next. And I'm going to allow two things to occur. Normally, everyone is going to talk about who they are, and then we go to a question. So I'm going to do it the opposite. I'm going to ask, would you not only explain who you are, but answer the question? We ready for this? Let's do it. The question is to the audience, if you had one thing to explain to a person, why wide? And why wide with your company? Keep it relatively short. What would it be? I'm going to head over here first. Google Play, thank you for joining us at 20 Books to 50K.
Thank you. I'll start off about myself. My name is Ryan Dingler. We're product manager on Google Play Books. So effectively what my team does is we try to build tools for publishers and authors to make it easier to work with our platform. And we have a lot of new and exciting features coming over the next few quarters, few months, to make it easier to do that. Okay, on to the specific question. Why wide? So I think it depends on your specific situation as an author. It makes sense. You have to think about it makes sense for you. In terms of going wide, it's about being where your customer is at. So if you have readers that are on Google Play Books, if you have readers on Amazon, if you have readers on Kobo and other ones, if you're exclusive with one platform, some of your readers will miss out on that opportunity to read your book. That is the number one thing that we find for going wide. Obviously, you need to think if it makes sense financially as well. And the point is to have a lot of these other retail platforms combined in aggregate to go above and beyond what you would get on exclusive. And Google Play Books is one platform to help you get there and reach there to make sure that it actually makes sense to go wide, and we think that it does most of the cases.
Thank you very much. We're going to go over here to Kobo. Surprise.
Hi, I'm Joni. I work for Kobo Writing Life. So we are a self-publishing platform. We're extremely user-friendly. We like to think that we're very friendly towards authors also. We have a very easy-to-use dashboard where you can upload ebooks directly, and we have recently launched audio. Our biggest reason for going wide is that we want you to reach your readers wherever your readers want to read and in whatever format they want, hence audio. We launched audio at Kobo 2 years ago. We launched direct audio to the KWL dashboard about a month ago, so it's still new and exciting for us. We have a great relationship with Overdrive, so we're also looking at reaching library readers. We have great retail partners all over the world. Everywhere that we're selling Kobo or books on Kobo, we're partnered with a local bookseller. So we figure they already know how to sell to their customers. We're going to use that knowledge and sell via them. One place where we're doing extremely well is in the Netherlands with Bol.com, who have a huge market share. We sell ebooks via Bol.com, and we also have a subscription program there. And yeah, I think that's our...
Why wide?
Why wide? Because I think I said this. Reaching readers wherever we want, wherever they want to be.
Yes, please.
I'm Robin Cutler, the director and founder of IngramSpark. Thank you for you guys who showed up at our meet and greet yesterday. It was really great. I think, well, Ingram, you know, as I talked about yesterday, is the world's largest book distributor. So we're the definition of wide. We distribute to Amazon, to Barnes & Noble, to, you know, books, chain stores around the world, to libraries, to digital partners like Kobo, Apple. You know, if you really want to get your book on Apple, you know, we're a good resource for that. Why go wide? You know, you don't really, and I echo what you said from Kobo. You know, you don't know unless you've made your book widely available and also in as many formats as possible. You don't know what your readers prefer to engage with your content, and you also don't know where they prefer to purchase. So going wide gives you the broadest way to reach a reader in any way they prefer to read or to buy. So that's really important. When you put all your eggs into that one big basket, which is that one big basket is really, really important, and I would never say that it isn't. But you know, you're leaving out like at least 30–40% of the rest of the market, and that's never a good thing to do as an author or for a business.
Thank you. Tina.
Hey guys, my name is Kinga, and I'm CEO and co-founder of Publish Drive. And basically, Publish Drive is a self-publishing platform for indie authors to achieve indie success. We actually help you with different kind of services. One of them is distribution, as we started out, and we work with all the US major retailers, and actually most of these guys at the table as well. So Google Play, Kobo also, and we sell the ebooks to all the digital libraries around the world, subscription services as well, and also to international markets, like China, for instance. And we basically cover a lot of other markets other than China, like Russia as well. And we started from Europe, but the company is based in the US. And that's why we actually started to see that there is a need to reach out to international markets for English language books as well. And because imagine that there is China, there are more than 200 million people who actually want to read English language books there. So it's definitely something what you want to step foot in, and today it's possible. So this is one of the things why going wide is one of the best things you can do, that you can reach out to new markets and you can increase your sales with the same book you have, but on a totally different market. And international as well. And today it's possible to go international with a few clicks, and you don't have to be there present in your physical presence, because there are solutions what can help you with that. And also there's a lot of promotional tools what you can use with Publish Drive to help you get more visibility, not just to publish your books, because everyone knows, even on Amazon, it's not enough to just publish your book, but you need more visibility. Thank you.
Don't kill my next question.
Yeah, hi, I'm Carl Pritzkat. I'm with Publishers Weekly, and I'm also in charge of Publishers Weekly's website for indie authors called Book Life. I think the reason you go wide, especially in the world that Publishers Weekly deals with, which is booksellers and librarians, not only is to reach your readers there, but because we know readers who buy online, even intensive Amazon readers, do a lot of discovery of new books and new authors at their library, at their independent bookstore. So when you're in those places, even though it might not look as financially profitable as what your sales are going to be online, the fact is you'll be reaching readers who may not have come across you, or maybe you're sort of lost in the noise of other places. So it's a great place to be there. Because every bookseller in the United States reads Publishers Weekly, they get a copy of it, because almost every librarian in the United States does it as well. We're a great place to promote, but also we do reviews. We do 9,000 reviews a year of books. And booksellers and librarians read our reviews to decide which books they're going to bring into their bookstore or their library. So it's if you're going to go wide, and if you want to do it in bookstores and libraries, which I recommend if you're at that stage where you feel comfortable with it, Publishers Weekly and Book Life. Publishers Weekly is the place to help you do that, and Book Life is your entry point, sort of your safe place to be able to get that entry point.
Thank you, Carl. Mark, Draft Digital?
My name is Mark Lefebvre. You pronounce my last name too digital, so just Mark to Digital. I've had many last names in this industry over the last 30 years. I'm the Director of Business Development at Draft to Digital, and we offer you the option when you don't want to have 7 or 8 logins to manage your account. Yeah, you make less, but it saves you some time because we think that your time is probably best spent writing. I want to ask people in the audience, how many people plan on being a writer for this week only? Okay, how about this month, this year, long term? You want to be a writer long term. You need to think bigger in terms of thinking like that 1 week, that 1 month, that 1 year. And publishing wide is a big thinking picture. You need to think not just about, and this is something Michael's doing right now, and I'm admiring what they're doing, is think about your IP, your intellectual property, not just as a book or a story you want to know. Think about you as the brand, as the author. That's a long-term strategy. Think about your publishing company if you're self-publishing. That's a company and it's its own brand. And every single idea that flows, right now the idea usually takes the form of a book, and in the old days it was a print book, and now it's an ebook and a print book, and audio is growing. But there are way many more ways to expand and explore how to exploit your IP and your brand in multiple channels. And when you start thinking wide, when you start thinking big, you're not just thinking, should I be Amazon versus every other retailer in the world? You're not just thinking, how can I reach readers who may never be on that platform, or countries in the world that don't even have Amazon? You're going to guarantee miss 100% of those readers every single time. But think about the things that aren't even here yet. If anyone listens to Joanna Penn's podcast, The Creative Pen, the future, she's already predicting the next amazing thing. I've started to exploit my IP in audio beyond audiobooks. Money-making opportunities based on books I actually handed the rights over to a publisher in 2012, and yet these new opportunities are coming. So you want to be wide because you want to be thinking about diversity, and you want to be thinking about protecting your future, and you want to be thinking about all of the new ways that we haven't even explored that are going to come up. Because ebooks we're still only 10 years into a 25-year transformation of the industry. And then audio hits, and then what next? So when you start thinking wide, you're prepared for what next. So you can be in those Kindle Gold Rush days Mark Dawson was talking about yesterday, where there were only 80,000 titles, not 4 billion. You want to be in those markets globally, and that's why wide.
Thank you to everyone. So first off, I'm going to say, here's the question. If you had a way to advertise for wide, what would you suggest? And Carl from Publishers Weekly is not allowed to say his magazine. In fact, none of you are allowed to say through your particular one. So you have to come up with another way. Now, it can be someone that actually pushes it, like, hey, go do this to drive people to Google Play. So you're allowed to cheat the system that way, but you can't say on our stuff. Okay, we're going to go back down to Mark.
So this is ideas for advertising wide?
Idea, like how would you suggest someone advertise wide, but you can't say Draft to Digital?
All right, I'm going to just take a look at back up and take a look at a strategy for wide. The very first thing you need to do before you begin to advertise is understand that there are 170 different markets. And let's just pretend we're talking ebooks right now. The US market is not the Canadian market. The market in Germany is not the same as it is in the Netherlands. It's not the same in Australia. You actually have to do some research and investigate. So the very first strategy, the way you need to understand who your target readers are, is you need to understand that marketing globally and marketing wide is not just setting a US price and forgetting about it. That's one of the elements. But what are the price points on the different retailers that are working in that particular category or subgenre? It's a lot of work and it's a lot of research, but you'd be wise. You'd be wise advised to go and do some of that research before you drop a single penny on marketing. Otherwise, you're just going to throw it away.
We're going to go to Carl.
Oh yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question. That's a really tough question. I mean, I think the basics apply. I think everybody knows here that Facebook and keyword marketing is still important. Those are sort of the building blocks to a good marketing campaign, and making sure, as we've heard over and over again, that when you do get a customer, you hold on to them yourself with your own email list. They become yours. They're not owned by some third party network or something like that. But going wide, I think wide is that's our term, our inside term for saying that we're going to do things outside of the Amazon universe. And so I think it's going to depend on where you decide to go wide. And it's still going to be about targeting your money and as Mark said yesterday, getting into the numbers and making sure that you're getting a return on investment on what you're doing.
Yeah, so when it comes to promote wide books, obviously it starts with that you don't have Amazon links anymore. Not just Amazon links that actually are available. So you definitely have to be aware of that all the other links, what you have, you actually make it available for your readers, that they should know about that your books are available on the different stores. And besides that, to get some kind of options with the stores to get featured, that is one thing what you can do. And I think that's one of the coolest things what you can do as well, because I assume that every one of you want to get a special place within the store or a special place within the newsletter as well. And some of the stores can help you achieve that. And I think looking for those opportunities where your book can stand out, or even as an author, you can stand out, have your own author page on the different stores, that can really help you. And those things work on Amazon as well, but obviously when it comes to wide, there are different platforms, and there are different, those platforms actually looking for options and good authors and good books to get featured, because they have less books than Amazon, obviously. And because many of the authors are in the Kindle Unlimited, so they cannot get most of the books. So they are willing to help you in promotions as well. And I think another thing what is really cool, that if you are looking for reviews on Amazon, on your Amazon book page, that's awesome. You should definitely do that. But don't forget about the other stores. So the other stores, they have review options also. And people who read or buy your books there, they can leave reviews. And again, there are less books in the other platforms, and less people actually are leaving reviews. But if you can have those few reviews in the very early beginning as well, and then you can actually build up your reviews early on, then your book can stand out way much better, and the algorithms will really like your book in the other stores as well.
I'm not sure anybody's answered the question, so, and I can't say my own platform, I can't say anything about Ingram Services, can I? No. Okay. I won't say anything about Ingram Services. I will say that I believe everything starts with the author platform. So that is all about, you know, your social media, how you engage with your readers, how you build your readers. You know, definitely through Instagram. I think YouTube is a social media platform that needs more attention from an author. You know, video through Instagram and YouTube is really important to hear and build your reader, you know, engagement. Readers want to hear directly from the author, and they want to engage with you like that. I also think selling directly, not just through obvious channels, and that's what we call stores in the business, but there's ways that you can sell directly that are really important as far as going wide. Shopify, you know, is a good way. We have a tool too, but I can't mention that. Okay. But there are things that you need to think when you're going wide. It's just not about selling through to stores. It's about selling directly yourself. And that also helps you with better engagement directly with your customers, and then you have that relationship. When you sell through Amazon, you do not know who's buying your book. That is not a relationship that you have as the author. So, you know, that's really important, and I can't stress that enough.
I would say treat every retailer as an individual. As an indie author, one of the cool things about running your own business is that you have direct sales information, where your book's selling, what countries, who's buying them. You also have a direct line to your readers. Most of you are engaging with them on social media, you have a mailing list, you're able to talk to them. Focus on what works across different retailers. Look at the genre page for the type of books that you write, see how they're promoting, see how they're marketing the books. Make friends with the retailers at conferences, come talk to them, say, what do I do, how do I promote on your store specifically, and don't assume that it's going to be the same on other stores. Notice what works better on one store versus another, and market differently towards those audiences. And then with that direct line to your readers, you can also be training your readers, go here, check out this store, try using this one might work for you.
I think there's a lot of good answers there. I'll take a slightly different approach. I think one important part is you have a lot of readers on the main platform, I won't name it, but the exclusive platform that you have there. It's about like getting readers on different platforms, and one of the big parts of that is helping drive your readers to other platforms. They could be like ours. And one way to do that is through other promotions that you run. Now, obviously there's price matching, but one way to do that is through promo codes. We'll be releasing a new feature for promo codes that you can actually do through us. There's other stores.
You heard it here first.
There's other stores that can do it there as well. So offering to your readers, whether you have a newsletter or on social media, maybe just 10% off a book on our store, or you can do it for other stores as well, is a good way to drive incentive to go to those other stores. And a quick plug for us.
I'll give you just a second. So here's the next question, which I appreciate everyone adhering to the letter of the law. Yeah, some better than others. And in Robin's defense, area is the one that she would have mentioned. It is something that we're using, so just be aware of that. So I appreciate you and Will trying to get off the topic there. So one of the things that I'm really about is relationships, and I really appreciate all the industry reps who are coming here and representing and taking their time to allow you guys to have the relationships. So what I'm going to do is allow everybody up here to specify the one person they'd like to throw under the bus, the one they'd like to highlight as being the relationship to get with their company to help. And if they're here, they're welcome to stand up.
Say that again.
Who, in other words, all of these people need a relationship with your company.
Oh, okay.
Who are you going to tell them is the right person? So do you love this person? Do you hate this person? However you want to do it is fine. But a person in your company that you think they should probably try to meet or talk to or email or whatever. And then if you'd like to mention a small thing, we'll go ahead. Go ahead.
So, just to start, I think Google Play Books is a little different than some of the other retail platforms. Being Google, we're very algorithm driven, so a lot of it's organic and natural in that regard. Handwritten notes. So we don't necessarily have a point of contact. We do have some people, and Sabrina, who's over here on the side, would be a good point of contact. But I guess we don't have merchandising for a lot of them. Our algorithms drive for the specific consumer what we would recommend, and we try to make sure that we're recommending the best books possible. And so merchandising is not very big in our store. So it's really coming down to fundamentals, making sure you have a good book cover, a good description, you have good, inside of the description you have a lot of words that would be used in the search function, and that's more important in our store rather than the specific merchandising part.
Right, so in this case, I understand what you're asking. Maybe my question wasn't, as business owners out there, they might have questions. We understand the algorithm, we get that completely. Occasionally, however, there are nuances with your platform that we're not sure has been answered from our Google searches or anything of that nature. Is there a person that would, at the business, not the book level type of thing? So it's,
Yeah.
sagebrush, the big opus X, and hang a right.
And we do have a good customer support team as well, so if you have questions there.
They were asking for last name. What are the questions?
Sabrina Bennett. So feel free to reach out. We'll love you too.
Kobo Writing Life is an extraordinarily tiny team. There are 3 of us on the business team. I am here. Laura is over there. Laura selects a lot of the books for our promotions. I select a lot of books for library promotions. You can email writinglife@kobo.com. You're reaching the 3 of us. We'll pass it over to a different team if it needs a different team, but we're very, very easy to get in touch with.
Robin.cutler@IngramSpark.com. Actually, I gave you that wrong, so try that. It's robin.cutler@IngramContent.com. That is my email address. I am the ultimate authority within Ingram about anything related to IngramSpark. You can always write to me. Don't call me because I'm really bad about listening to my voicemail, but I'm better at actually responding to email. And I will, I tend to respond. We also have a fantastic, I think the best in the industry support team. And you can always get in touch with them at IngramSparkSupport.com and reach out online. Some of you met Dion McAdoo. That's Dion.McAdoo, MCADOO. He's on my team. He works directly with everything related in the U.S. People were covered over him yesterday, asking him. I call him my Amazon whisperer. He can figure out stuff that's gone kind of haywire on Amazon and get it fixed better than anybody I've ever seen. So anyway, we're really accessible and encourage you to get in touch with us. Thank you.
So you can reach me as well anytime, kinga@publishdrive.com, an email, but I'm really, I'm pretty much available on social media also, so you can add me on Facebook. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. Not sure whether you are, but a lot of nonfiction authors are there also. And when it comes to who can help you with your specific issues, or even on the longer term, if you have any kind of requests, how the platform should be actually improving, you can reach out to Robert. He is here, actually. He is the CTO, so he can make things happen, that's for sure, when it comes to the platform. And also, when it comes to any kind of merchandising questions, for instance, we have a merchandiser specifically available for you guys. She's called Chilla, CSILLA @publishdrive.com, and she is happy to chat with you. And she is organizing all the different promotions with the different stores all around the world. So if you can tell her any kind of specific releases you might have in the future, or any kind of specific promotions you want to run, she's the right person to reach out to.
Yeah, if you have questions about Publishers Weekly or Book Life, please email me. And my name is Carl, and that's Carl with a C, @booklife.com. So I'm happy to answer any questions. One other thing I should mention that Book Life does, we have a monthly feature in Publishers Weekly magazine which highlights great first lines of independent author novels. So if you want to give us your first line, we also have a monthly feature which is called Cover Redesign, where somebody sends us their book cover and says, I wasn't so happy with this, and we have a graphic designer redesign your cover. And we're just launching a new feature, which will be covered every month as well, which is basically trying to hear from indie authors about what they're doing in the community, either with their own writing groups, or with signings, or with anything going on, where you send us a photo of what's going on, hopefully a good photo, and then a caption which tells us what was going on and who was in it, where you name it, and then we'll publish that as well. All of those features can go to our editor, and that's a simple email address as well, which is booklifeeditor, and there's 2 E's back to back in that, so don't be confused by that, but again, it's booklifeeditor @booklife.com. But definitely, if you have questions about anything going on at Publishers Weekly or Book Life, I'm the man, and it's Carl with a C @booklife.com.
Are Dan and Kevin in the room? There you go. Could Dan Wood please stand up? The Vice President of Operations for Draft to Digital, my boss, and a handsome man to boot. Dan and Kevin and I are here. We're more than happy to spend time listening to what you need, because listening to what you need is what helps us make the tools that we build to help you with your life. I'm not going to throw Dan under the bus, but mark.lefebvre @drafttodigital.com. Good fucking luck spelling that.
Dan.wood is a lot easier.
Dan.wood is a lot easier at the same email address, but I'm not going to give you his email. First name dot last name, that's all you need to know. And we are a small team of 16 people, but one of the things I admire, Tara, who is our Director of Customer Service and my colleague, if you watch the free videos we've done, you may have seen her and with Kevin and myself. Our support at drafttodigital.com, it's an amazing small team, and we're all in the office, except for me. I'm in the Canadian office of Draft to Digital, and Kevin's on the road as well, and so is our Chief Technical Officer. But if you email the team, they'll actually put it to the right person. They'll send it to Dan or Kevin or me or whoever needs to deal with it. And we're here to listen to you guys. But mark@markleslie.ca is probably easier for you to spell if you want to get a hold of me. And when we're not recording, I'll happily give you my cell phone number. You can hit me on social media. Just send a message and say, hey, I was talking to you at 20Books. Here's a question I have on Facebook Messenger. I'm pretty open in social media to find. So feel free to abuse me.
Okay. Right behind here is Sagebrush. And between 11 and 1, there's going to be opportunities to meet all of these people, and I really, really encourage you to do that. As an example, Publishers Weekly has a contact here in Vegas, and Judith and I spoke with him. We had dinner with him. We're trying to create that relationship. We followed him over to New York to have meetings in their offices in New York, and then we go to Frankfurt and we have meetings in there. Save yourself a lot of travel and just meet them here. Meet Google here, meet Kobo here, meet PublishDrive here, meet Robin with Ingram right here, and of course meet Dan Wood here as well. Oh, I'm sorry, Mark. So everyone here, you have 1 minute, and you are welcome to state your own offerings, but where would you tell people to go to find more knowledge, more education in your area?
So, Kobo? Oh, wait. Who's got? Here we go.
I would say we have a help center at, what is the address, Laura? Yeah, it's not the best address. Kobo Writing Life, all one word, at .zendesk.com. That's our help center. Specific questions, it's often easier to email us, writinglife@kobo.com. We have a blog at www.kobowritinglife.com. We have a podcast where we talk to authors, industry professionals, we talk about Kobo. And Facebook, Twitter, all the usual social media places. Thank you for that, Laura.
Is it just education, helping learn both about your platform or just indie in general?
Yeah. So the best place to go would be we have a great help center. You can find it through Google to find us. So just go to Google, type in Google Play Books Publishing, and then you can type Help Center. We have a number of links inside of there to get you started on our platform and help you, walk you through the process of there. And if you encounter any troubles, there's always a chat agent that can talk to you there really easily as well.
Just wanted to say 24/7.
24/7. So if you go to our platform, we can talk 24/7 with a chat agent that you have there. And we will be launching as well new online signups. I think we've talked about this before. So if you're not on our platform today, there's an invite code process. Over the next couple of months, it'll be entirely self-serve, so it'll be a little bit easier to do it there as well.
So publishdrive.com, that's the website where you can see a lot of information. We have a blog as well, blog.publishdrive.com. Also a help center but you can find it on our website, so it's easier than writing down. And within our blogs, actually, we cover a lot of interesting topics. So whether you want to experience with different markets, or even just learn from other authors, because we actually cover a lot of other authors as well who are successful in some part of the business. You can definitely check them out also. We have a Facebook group also. It's Write More, Worry Less. And you can find us there. We can have always any kind of chat about different topics. Or if you have a specific success, what you want to share, just feel free to do that, because we want to celebrate with you guys whatever success you actually can achieve. And we actually prepared some promotion for you guys as well. So we have a publishrive.com/20Books Vegas. So you can find some promo opportunities for you just for this community. And we definitely want you to get the best treatment from us.
So as far as educating yourself as an author / publisher, I think you're doing exactly what you need to be doing, and the fact that you're here at 20 Books and you're part of this tribe is probably the best education you can ever get. So I definitely encourage that. There's some other organizations that we also promote within IngramSpark. Independent Book Publisher Association, IBPA. I'm actually a board member of that association, and then ALLI, the Alliance of Independent Authors. So those are really fantastic. Within IngramSpark itself, we actually have, I think, the best blog around. A lot of these people have actually contributed articles to our blog. Industry leaders, we write articles all the time, authors about their experience. So the IngramSpark blog, definitely sign up for that. We have an IngramSpark Academy that's totally free that talks about things you need to know about publishing, and especially when you're interacting, with different retailers, libraries, that sort of thing. I have a podcast called Go Publish Yourself. It'd be great if you could follow us, and there's just, it's just, our site is just filled, as I know PW and Book Life is too, with just a lot of information. So just become engaged, right?
So draft2digital.com, and that's the number 2 numeral. We've been doing these Ask Us Anythings once a month for an hour, and it's usually 2 or 3 of us just open, and it's usually to a Facebook Live, but then we post it to YouTube, and we also post the full transcript if you don't want to listen to us or look at us. And often, so I started with Dan and Kevin and I just basically answering your questions. But one of the cool things that we've done, and I've loved the experience, is at the very end of the live session, we open up for about 24 hours the chance that you can sign up for a free one-on-one consultation. It's usually a video chat with us. We talk about anything. It doesn't even have to be Draft Digital. I talk to authors about strategies for, finding local writers groups. I've talked to authors about strategies on how to maximize their Kindle Unlimited page reads. It doesn't matter. We're there to talk to you and help you. That's all we care about, because we learn so much from those things. And you can find the past videos, or find out when you go to draftdigital.com, you click over on the blog tab, and you can find all that, as well as the amazing videos Kevin has put together, walkthroughs, stuff like that. If you want a podcast and you can't get enough of my voice, starkreflections.ca is where I talk about the business of writing and publishing. And I'll have to admit, I have a bit of a bias towards publishing wide and maximizing your reach and your IP as an author. So blame me for that, but I do have that.
Yeah, as I really reiterate what Robin said, we have a lot of great resources at booklife.com, at publishersweekly.com. I think you heard me say this yesterday. We have tons of free newsletters that are very targeted, some of them that are more broad. Please go and avail yourself of all of that. It's really great. And what Ingram has developed as well as resources are fantastic as well. And I think everybody here has great resources. But the one shout out I want to make, and this is as somebody who's attending this for the first time, is what Robin said. What you have here right now is what every indie author dreams of, which is your tribe, helping each other, recognizing the hard work that each of you do in trying to get your voice out there. And I think man, keep on doing that, because that's going to help you. All the information and the learning is very important. Obviously, that's why we're here. But to have that feeling of your community and having each other's backs and what was laid out to us yesterday morning at the opening, that's phenomenal, and that's really priceless.
The previously sponsored conversations for 20 Books to 50K Facebook group. Please join now. Thank you very much for everybody who's up here. Please take the time to meet them, and we are done.
No. Right back there, sagebrush, coffee, things to eat. Right back there.
I think so.